Hello and welcome. This is Cacti Twig, and I'm featuring Johnny Iannetta. We're gonna just go through the hash slinging slashers versus Kevin's team, the team that does not have a name, refuses to get a name. So, yeah, we're just gonna go through it, and whatever happens, happens. So, Johnny, before we start, do you have any opinions on what Kevin's team should have as their name? Because I feel like they never have a name.
I'm trying to think. What did I recommend? I said 99 problems, but a flick ain't one. Kind of going off, just like a pun off of the 99 problems, but I think it was
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas or something like that. That was my opinion, but obviously we didn't go with that.
No, I like
But
it.
I thought it was good.
No, I like it. And for context, Johnny is on Kevin's team. He's one of the ones we played against, which, yeah, if you've been watching my videos, you've seen it before. But for the average viewer, we'll say this is your first time watching. Welcome. So let's skip ahead, see how bad I am at video editing as a whole.
Yeah.
Were you offsides there? You might have been a touch offsides there. I don't actually care.
Yeah, I was offsides a couple times throughout this video, but I don't think it really provided a competitive advantage.
That's fine. The big thing that I want to focus on is offensive decision making from the thrower's perspective. Our team has a hard time with that, and that's something we can improve on because nobody on our team really is a true handler. Oh, sorry, I got to talk about that. So, speaking of decision making, so right here, I'm coming back. So we got Paul here. Shoot, what is offense? Offense is yellow. Okay, so we got Paul here, and he's making a pass to me over here. Whenever you're making a pass as a handler cross field, you always want to take a look at where the defender is versus where the receiver is. And you want to lead the receiver such that the defender does not have a play on the disc. In this case, what Paul ended up doing was throwing a pass kind of right to me. And as a result, I actually had to kind of panic, slam on the brakes, and get in there because Vince almost made a play on the disc there. A little scary. As handlers, that's something we try to work into our play there to avoid that situation happening. And one thing I want to shout out also, Vince is one of the newer players in the league, I believe. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, I think Vince and Angel are the two most improved players in the league. I think both Vince and Angel have made incredible improvement, and I think it's worth a shout out. I think it's really awesome how much Vince and Angel have improved. Because Vince was lighting up this game. Like, he made it really hard for me a lot.
He played really well.
Yeah, I mean, because Vince got traded to your guys' team because your team was really good because he was inexperienced, and I think you guys have done such a good job of helping him grow and really kind of fill into that role that he's physically capable of. Yeah,
Exactly, he did well for sure.
yeah. So I want to give you guys the full credit you guys deserve. You guys have done a really good job of getting Vince up to speed and really respecting him as a player and treating him as one of the team and getting him up to speed.
Coming in, sorry, I'll just
you're good.
Keep going. But yeah, he did really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it blurry? My screen's really blurry. Sometimes it does that. I need to figure out why it's doing that. I think if I do that, it'll clear it up. Yeah. So right here is actually something I kind of want to talk about. So as far as decision making, we have right now, because Palms is kind of fitting the cutter role in our team right now. And our cutters, and this is something where I love our cutters. We as a team, we have no chill when we have the disc. We want to get the maximum yardage on every single pass with no respect. So right here, I actually had a perfect opportunity to score here because I'm here. I see that Vince is a step behind me. So I get free reign to just cut wherever I want to upfield to the far side of the field. Which, I guess real quick, I'm not going to focus on it, but just to give context, right now, we are forcing a home. The sideline we force is the sideline where your team is on. So this is a home force. So the open space is here, and the mark is positioning his body to take away all of this. So as a result, there's a narrow place to work with. But I see that I have an advantage here, so I make a cut right up here. And my running style is so weird. Every time I see myself, I'm like, oh God, why do I run like that? But right here, there's an opportunity to just throw an easy pass anywhere to this foreside, and I will just get right there for the score. But right here, Palms just kind of gets a little bit of target fixation and wants to throw a huge pass over the screen. I
think a good kind of rule to go off of: hit the first open guy going down the field. I mean, Yeah, you were wide open. I mean, it's like you said, he was just fixated.
Yeah,
Happens.
and it's like, yeah, it's nothing against palms. It's hard to do, and there's you being you. I mean, you just get open like you do. Did that? It looked like he might
I
have
got
bumped
fouled
you
a little bit there, but
yeah, I mean,
he definitely fouled me a little bit there. I mean, it doesn't. He's going for the disc, but he kind of runs into me.
yeah, he kind of
Yeah,
loses his body in space
clobbers me.
sometimes. Yeah, he's been pretty good though. When he subbed
Yeah,
first,
it
he hit.
happens.
Yeah, it's all good though. He definitely wasn't intentional. Just
Yeah, 100%. That's why I was like, nah, it was all good.
yeah, no. Later, spoiler. Later, Paul like trips and falls into you. That was the big hit you took. That was funny though. Anyway, good job.
I went right into the.
Yeah, and good flick there, by the way. You and I, before a lot of games, have been kind of chatting about your flick. That was good. Your elbow was far away from your body. You did a really good job of not having that elbow tucked into your body. There's a lot of space there. Great throw there. So that worked out well.
It was because I think Kevin and I we went in Discord and watched this before because we thought we were gonna have a game Thursday, but it got snowed out. But Madeline had a great cut right there, and I don't know. I was kind of fixated on Matt, but yeah, overall, she makes a good cut right here. Like it.
Yeah, I think that honestly.
Oh, you were there.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think I was there to make a play on it. Like if she would have turned up and like looked at you, I definitely would have been like right there to make that play. So I think you made the right decision. So just my very biased opinion. I think I'm a good defender.
Yeah.
I love Madeline, by the way. She was going all in on that. That's great.
This game. I'll just talk while through this, throw off. But I think this game was a good representation what the league is about and what it should be about. Just very competitive and great sportsmanship.
Yeah, I think our two teams just bring out the best in each other. I think Gabe does such a good job of getting under your skin, and it's kind of just, that's kind of his strategy. Oh no, you hate to see it. So yeah, this is another thing where it's like, I don't mean to call it palms, but right here, it's kind of a target fixation thing. He's an incredible cutter. He made an incredible cut here, and then he wanted to gain yards quickly. Let me try to get a better clear out. Okay, so he saw me coming open here, which I was wide open because I'm here. He recognizes my defender's here, which is the correct call. Like my momentum's taking me this way, but there's another defender right in this space. So by trying to force it there, it turns incomplete. So I think we just need to have more chill and just
100%. You guys, I think you guys are above a 500 team. You guys just thrown away a little too much.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is I don't think we have any people that are like kind of more like in the role of handler, so we don't have quite that experience.
You guys are all hybrids, yeah.
Yeah, this has been a new experience for me, kind of being the primary handler on the team, because I feel like, at least, maybe I'm being cocky, I feel like I've got the most chillness on offense. Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, 100%.
I also
100%.
Yeah, thank you. I poached you here, so you're coming up here. You're here. I actually drifted off I drifted off to poach you. Great job by Vince hanging in that open space. Great job by getting the pass in there. Again, Vince played really well. I have respect for Vince as a player, but like he really he punished me for prioritizing you over him, and that's incredible. I'm really happy for him for that. That was really good. He consistently did that. Yep, so right here, the force is home. That was such a good play by Paul.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What do you guys say?
Just could you go back a little bit as a person on offense? I think this is a good frame of reference. Right here, I got to be noticing Matt making that strike, and I have to throw it early. Right now, I should be throwing it. I don't throw it here, and that's what allows Paul to catch up to me. Catch up to Matt and make a play.
Yeah, the other thing to take into account is I think this is a kind of a recognition from Paul where he knows that this is kind of your open space in green here. This is kind of the space you can throw it to. So when he knows if the disc is coming up, he actually kind of, before he even knows where the disc is going, he turns as a defender, he turns his cut into that space immediately and says like, he comes in and goes, I'm attacking because I know where that disc is going. So that was also a great play by Paul.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. Getting that up earlier would have made it a lot harder for him. So, yeah.
Right. I think this is where we have a disc error.
Oh yeah, I think it went over the net. Yep. Yeah. What's going on here? Oh, okay. Yeah, there were 2 discs in. All right.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, good job getting it off the sideline. It's on the break sideline. It's a lot less of a threat. Who is that on defense? I'm really bad at recognizing people when it's blurry. Who is that right there?
Matt.
Matt does a great job of
Matt Mars. Yep.
Yeah, Matt does an incredible job. So the force is away right now, and Madeline's putting on a great force. So this is the open space right here, and Matt does a great job of putting his body on the forced side of his receiver, so that if Paul wants to make a cut into this open space, Matt's already a step ahead of it. And you can see right here, it just completely shuts it down. So that's a great defense by him, forcing the thrower to turn around and then kind of pinning the disc to the other sideline. Okay, yeah, we kept the disc on that force sideline for a little longer than what is ideal. As our team, we need to be swinging the disc on stall 3. Like right now, we need to stop looking upfield and look to swing. Yeah, because that turnover there was kind of a result of that. So basically, he gets it stall 1, stall 2, stall 3. Right now, the play is for Paul. Paul needs to stop looking upfield. Upfield's no good at this point, just because it's 3 stalls. There's only 4 left. So I'm playing, like, whenever I'm a handler, I usually hang over here, and I'm waiting to get initiated to make a cut. Because the last thing I want to do is commit hard to a cut and then have it not go up. And now there's nothing. We just need to stop looking upfield at stall 3. And, there we go. And, clean it up. Because that's why that turnover happened. It was just, stall 3, we need to stop trying to gain yards.
Yeah. Stall 3, you don't see anything, you look for immediate dump.
Yep. So, here, force is away. Madeline played really well. Also, just, like, being that consistent.
She played yeah.
Yep, right here, the one thing I would like to see different is a little bit less, taking away a little bit less as a mark. As a mark, I would like to see a little bit more taking away that break side. Because break side throws, because actually right here is another perfect example of Vince playing really well and punishing my overcommits here. I saw you making a good cut, which I didn't actually need to do it because TJ was there. But I drifted over as a defender to take away you, because I think Palms was on you. So I actually drifted over to help with that and bracket it, leaving him alone. But because it breaks that throw went up, it was free. And one thing I did, and we'll talk about what just happened there. One thing I did before coming back is whenever I'm drifting up here and I see there's a thrower, the first thing I did was I turned around and looked right at you. Because before you mark, you want to make sure the receivers are covered. Your number one priority as a defender in no man's land, which no man's land is just when you're far out of the play where you aren't doing anything useful, is you want to look at any receivers, any receivers that are uncovered, that are an imminent threat. For example, if there were a receiver standing like right here, wide open in the end zone, I don't want to come up and put a mark on, and because you're just going to throw around me and get to them. The thing I want to do is sprint over to that person and buy time for the rest of my defenders to come up and help me out. So that's why I glanced upfield, and that's why I drifted around to come back in. I wanted to really make sure that, like, before I set that mark, it was good. And right here, I looked at it here. So basically, it was a strip call. The idea is if I touch the disc while it's still in his hand, it's a strip. And if I touch the disc after it leaves his hand, it's just a turnover. When I was playing, I didn't think I stripped him, but you can see very clearly right here, I did strip it. The disc is in his hand,
and
there's me touching it. Yep. Yeah, that was definitely a strip.
This brings up I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. What do you got to say?
This is I think a good teaching point, because if you look at Vince, this could have been properly avoided if he had the correct pivot foot. He did not have the correct pivot foot here. Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, I got in there because he didn't pivot on there. As a right-handed player, your left foot is the one that stays pivoted on the ground. So, if you were to lean out, square your hips to me, have your one leg out, and the other one obviously is where it is, and then from there, you have really good leverage to make a throw. Make a throw if I can draw, and then from that angle where you're putting your hips squared into me, I don't have a play on it. If my drawing made sense.
Right, correct.
Yep. But yeah, I definitely fouled it. I thought I didn't in the moment, but it's fine. I think he did a great job of just making the call that he believed was right. I told him, like, I don't think it was a strip, and he said I think it was, and I said, okay, cool. That's just the play. I hate when people argue about plays on the field.
Yep.
It's just you made the play, you made the call, and that's great. I was happy for him. I was like, hey, no problem at all. I'm glad you made that call. That's definitely it. Yeah, that's what we're saying right there. It's like, yep, you're good. Coming in on 0, and then we came in on 0, and that's great. So, like I said, our teams bring out the best in each other, so I was really glad that was something that came in there. That play was almost filthy. I would have been so sad if that play would have gone off, by the way. Because Paul, like, we were like bracketing you, and you still almost caught it.
It was super close. I should have dove, but that wall changes the whole dynamic sometimes.
Yeah, and this throw
is a great toss. Phenomenal toss.
Yeah, thank you. So what
Josh's
I did here,
big head's in the way.
Yeah, Josh's glorious head. He's the thumbnail of the video, by the way. You should all watch the full video. It's great. But when I'm here, yeah, I see that I'm getting forced straight up, and I see Aaron coming in. I see the viable cut as an Aaron, so I did a hard pump fake there. At the moment that I pump faked is because I saw you were lingering there, and that's why I pump faked. So I could probably use my ink. I saw you lingering, and I was like, if I throw it, there's a chance you slam on the brakes and get rid of it. Get in that space, which was the point of it. I saw TJ break the plane on his defender, so that's when I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put it up because I'm confident in my throw there. And there's Josh. So yeah, that was just maybe a mental mistake on the defense there, which it happens. It's not a big deal. It's just I think TJ and I have been averaging like 1 a game where we just get a crazy deep throw like that for a score. Because obviously you and I and TJ all play together in summer league. This me just doing the bow and arrow, but yeah, we came together in summer league, so we kind of had that chemistry going. So that was just summer league chemistry. I saw it and I knew what he wanted to do, so I just kind of put it there. I don't know if there's anything else you have as far as defense goes for that, but yeah,
that was a great toss.
Yeah,
great cut.
Yep. And if you have anything you want to say,
he just got caught trying to. Yeah, he got caught taking a glance at the disc, and TJ just took off.
Yeah, TJ's good at that. Yeah, if there's anything you want to say, just talk over me. We're both kind of tipsy. Awesome. We're kind of just rambling. Whatever happens, happens. So here, the force is away. Yeah, and that's a great cut. A great handler cut by Madeline here. Just forcing this, faking the strike. You saw her take that hard step. Let me try to back up here. Right here, taking that step towards the break, towards the strike. Because as a handler, the number one threat that you have is the strike cut. That is like your number one threat. And as a defender, that is like you always take away that straight cut. That is the number one thing. So Elizabeth had to kind of commit back to that, and that just made it wide open and free to move around and get that swing there. So that was a good job of resetting the stall count. I called a stall. It was a stall. I counted slightly fast. I did the math for it before. I'm not going to do it again. It was like a 6-second stall. So I got excited. I was counting a little fast. Kevin said, hey, you were counting kind of fast. And I was like, are you calling it? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay. But yeah. I mean, when you're excited, it's easy to count fast. But if you ever feel like your mark is counting fast, just call the fast count. Not a big deal.
I mean, obviously, if it's super fast, yeah. But, like, I mean, it's going to happen. We're playing a game where adrenaline's going. It's going to happen. No harm, no foul. I mean.
Yeah, for sure. I told Kevin after the point, I was like, hey, if I'm fast counting, you call me that. I know what to do. I'll respect that. One thing I did here, and this is kind of a thing where it's like, I use the term having chill, but it's like right here, I could look up field and try to see like, Elizabeth, do something great. Let me score right now. But I see Madeline's in a good position. The stall count's already started. My entire team is over here off screen. I don't even look. I completely turn my hips. I turn around and I say, I'm going to reset the disc right now. because after I reset it, now you see my whole team is upfield. And this is a much better position than trying to force something upfield. So that's just a good like principle to take. Because right there, like Erin gets open because she's a great athlete. And that's just something where, you know, if I had tried to force it from here, it would have been much less likely to succeed. You know, just trust in the process.
This is a pick, and Vince didn't know this was a pick.
Oh, was it? I didn't actually see.
And this is one. It's a pick, 100% a pick, and
yeah, right there, definitely was a pick. Yeah.
And Vince didn't know that was a thing. He thought that's just a good play, and we're like, no, that's a pick. You got to call it. So that's a good learning, I guess, good learning point for the newbies. That if you run into, you know, anything that draws you off the path of your defender trying to guard, it's, you know, it's considered a pick. I mean, you go in more detail, you're better at explaining.
Oh, thanks. So if you are within, actually, let me go back and find the exact instant it happened. Right here. If you are within 10 feet of your receiver and actively guarding them, and you must slow down or change direction because of another player, offense or defense. It could be one of our guys. It could be one of your guys. Slow down or change direction. It's a pick. That's kind of the rule. I think the core of the rule is to prevent injuries, but I think the bigger core of the rule, sorry, my cat just hopped on my desk and wants to attack my cursor. All right. So the core of the rule is that ultimate is so easy to score on because the disc floats, that the reason that you can't have picks is because the game would be broken and you would score every point on a pick play. It's kind of guaranteed. So yeah, within 10 feet, actively guarding them, slowing down or changing direction because of any player on the field, it's a pick. That's the formal rule. So
I don't think we didn't even know until after, you know, we were watching film.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't even notice when I watched it through, but yeah, that was definitely a pick.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
it happens.
And it happens. We said at the same time. Yeah, it happens. Coaching pointers, yeah, I definitely wanted to call that, so it's all good.
That's a good coach. Yeah. Yep.
And the big thing, okay, so one thing I want to say, if you call a foul, like a pick, you raise your hand up and just yell like pick, 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 pick as loud as you can. And if you hear somebody calling a foul, echo it. But, and I'll actually go back to where we were here. So if, for example, the pick got called, everyone's yelling pick right now, but the disc is already in the air, always catch the disc when it's in the air. Because if there's a pick called and it's a turnover, it's just a turnover. The turnover stands. If there's a pick called and it's a completion, the disc goes back to the thrower. So if you're on offense
Correct.
Or you're on defense and the disc is in the air, no matter what anybody says to you, it's always your disc, go get it. And the play's never over until somebody is standing still with the disc in their hands. That's the mantra. 2 games ago, we had a turnover because of that. People were calling a pick or some foul, and the disc was in the air, and one of our players didn't commit to it. I forget who it was, but they didn't commit to it, and there was a turnover then, where it's like, if the disc is in the air, it's yours. Anyway, I don't mean to ramble on that too long, but that's it's a big coaching point. I will get right to it. I need to get my pool statistics video up. I recorded it and never uploaded it because I'm an idiot. So I need to actually get that up. All right. Anyway, off topic. Oh yeah, and I guess I could talk about you in first person. That's you being you. That's Johnny being Johnny right there. You hate to see it or love to see it, depending on who you're rooting for. Not too much to do there. When we're guarding you, we always want to force you under because we don't want to let you go deep on us because, yeah, your foot's up in time. You're good at reading space. You're big. You're athletic. You're going to go get it. So that not too much of a coaching point other than just force them under. Whatever happens, happens. We got your back. You know, like telling our other defenders. I told Matt as we were walking back, I was like, hey, force him under. I'm going to be able to poach a lot of space. I got your back. We'll bracket him. Just don't let him get behind you. So. Yeah, I think that's the only real coaching point there. If the other team has a very athletic player like that.
I think a good point to put. You could coach offsides here because I do it like 4 times. I think it's a good point just to go through because I'm offsides 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 of us were. Excuse my language. Holy crap.
That's fine. Yeah, it's not a huge deal. It's in the league, it's not a huge deal, but yeah, try to stay, especially in indoor, try to stay on sides. It's kind of a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So this is great motion. This is great flow. I think right here, Elizabeth is open. It's a break side throw, and it's kind of fast because he's kind of forcing it a little bit. I think she just wasn't quite ready for it. So I think the coaching point might be, if you got to do something heroic to make a throw go off, it's probably because you kind of see like Matt actually did a really athletic play to get that throw around you. If you got to make an athletic play to get the throw up, you might just want to holster it unless it's a high stall. You know, because it's going to be kind of fast line drive that, you know, as a cutter, you always want to be ready for it. But I think that's kind of the coaching point too, where it's, you know, if you ever throw something that you're not 100% confident and comfortable throwing, just don't throw it. That's how the defense wins. I just want to make a quick comment that when I said before, number one above all else, take away the strike. Oh, there we go. Take away the strike. I committed wholesale to take away the strike, and that's why it didn't go up. So that was.
Yep. Good.
You always want to see that. Great mark by Palms there. So basically, when you're marking, you never want to give anything away to that break side of the field. But if you are going to give something away, at least have them lose like 10 yards, 15 yards of space. So that was definitely a great outcome for the defense here. You know, Elizabeth gets set up. It was a high throw. Nobody was there, but if Matt would have been in that space, it would have been a really easy block. So that I think I was happy with that defensive set from a marking perspective. And right here, actually, the sideline was calling out to me. They were saying, "Mark, help deep. Mark, help deep." I just didn't hear it in time because the space kind of the building kind of eats up space as far as sound goes, and I didn't sprint to get down here. So I think I was hearing people yell "Mark," and I was confused for a second, and then I think I was reacting really slow. The coaching point here is offense is right here. I'm all the way over here on defense. I need to be sprinting like as hard as my little legs can take me to get there, and I was kind of just like jogging right there, and that's why.
With your arms.
Yeah, I run so weird. But yeah, that's why I scored. I just needed to sprint. I think it's because
You
my
pointed
only
that out in
advantage.
the one video.
Yeah, I know. I can't unsee it now. But I think it's because I think it's because my running technique has to be like focused around agility, and I use my arms to like move my center of mass a lot when I move. But when I don't need to, I out of habit just kind of have my arms scooting. I don't know. Or I'm just weird. I don't know. Because I feel like if it were like a legitimate thing that helped, I feel like professional athletes would do it. So I feel like I'm just a freak. I don't know. Whatever. You hate to see it. But it's just how I run. What are you going to do?
Good camera work right here, guys. Perfect.
Exceptional. You know what? I appreciate the people that are still running the cameras regardless.
Yep.
Yep. So I'm looking upfield. I'm going to call myself out. I'm looking upfield too long now. At every second that I'm looking upfield now is actively hurting our offense. I needed to get that up sooner. But it worked out. And one thing that Paul's been working on is working on his consistency. Like Paul's been working his butt off this whole season. Like he's been sharing his goals, his like personal goals in chat.
Oh
that
my gosh.
I did not like that. Oh yeah, this right here what happened was yeah, again, keeping eyes upfield too long. I needed to make a cut earlier. If it's like that high in the stall, like I needed to go. It wasn't me. I don't know. Whatever. But this is the thing where it's like I had that fast call on Kevin. Kevin had a fast stall on TJ, so it balances out. I did the math on it. It was like a 6-second stall as well, so it was a stall call. So yeah, it's all good. Okay, nobody's trying to do anything crazy. It's just humans can't keep perfect seconds accurately when we have an actual timer. And right there, the reason I wasn't marking is because I was taking away the most imminent threat off camera, which is kind of the coaching point of the whole thing before. So that was no problem not having a mark there. This is a problem not having a mark. sometimes our team has a hard time recovering and getting onto it. I think this is kind of the exact same thing that I've been talking about with our team that we need to work on, is just having no chill here. Like right now, there's nothing open, and that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with admitting defeat and just resetting to a handler. Because it's not even a defeat. It's just, you know, resetting to your handler. Because I think he was expecting you to start cutting, and he was trying to just take advantage of your size advantage. But I don't know. I got the agility advantage, so unless he throws it like high up, all the way up here, it's, you know what I mean.
That's
like
that's what we were looking for to do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if you're gonna do something like that,
blade on that.
Yeah, like if you guys are gonna beat us on like a 7-cut high angle shot there, my philosophy is so be it. You know, it's not gonna be the highest percentage throw. That's
exactly.
Kind of just, yeah, on defense, you trust in the process. As Palms being Palms. Oh, it doesn't get in though.
He just. Then he broke me, but I had to sell out on that. I had to.
Yeah, no, you had to commit. I get that.
I'm like darn. That was, I think that's the first time in the league someone beat me on a deep cut, and Palms had a great cut.
Yeah, our team has a bunch of little squirrely cutters. It can be frustrating to try to keep up with.
The little rodent got past me. No, listen.
Yeah, no, we love Palms. But it is kind of an interesting thing, and I think it's one of the reasons that our team hasn't quite meshed together. Because, you know, like, I'm squirrely and short, Palms is squirrely and pretty short, TJ is, you know, like, all of our team, we have a lot of cutters that are quick, and in order to do that, your handlers have, it's harder to handle with short, fast cutters than, like, a taller, more athletic cutter like that, even without the speed. Because for our windows, you have to throw us open, and our windows are open much shorter. You know, because if somebody taller is kind of moving slowly like this, you have a much more time to recognize it. Whereas if somebody's moving, you know, if someone's moving quickly, that window closes a lot faster. I think that's been one thing. Without a dedicated handler mentality, we've kind of been having some trouble exploiting those advantages. Just my armchair perspective on it. But I'm also garbage. So it is what it is.
It's all stuff.
And I did the math. I'll have to get that video up. But Palms is the only player in the league that statistically has a viable hammer pull. And it's like, I actually did the math. It was like everybody else's hammer pulls versus Palms himself, and Palms is the only player that has a viable hammer pull. I'll talk about it more in my other video, but it's kind of hilarious. It's like I love Palms' pull. It's beautiful. Right here, this pull made me sad on the inside. Our mark got turned around. We're forcing right-handed flick, which is away towards the camera, and there's some confusion, and we get to a backhand force. And as a result, I let this throw come up because, oh, that was a break side throw. I was like, what's going on here? So I flipped the force back to flick, and then the force gets flipped back to break side again, which lets this come up. And the force is still backhand, which lets that come up, because I was confused as far as what was going on. I should have recognized it earlier, what was going on, but then the force is back to flick, and then that gets up, which that was a scary throw. But TJ works his butt off on defense. He almost got that. That was close. But that was the reason why we got broken there. Our defense just got confused as far as what the force was, which you hate to see, but you know, it happens. So one thing that every league, I'm gonna make a comment on this because Gabe's team is the only team in the league that consistently recovers pulls with urgency. You know, every other team in the league, whenever there's a pull out of bounds or something, every other team jogs it, but Gabe's team is the only team that consistently like sprints back to that mark and goes. When it's like, you don't need to wait for the defender here. You could just sprint it over here and start, and Gabe's team gets a distinct advantage from that. I actually did the statistics on it. Again, I'm not trying to overly talk about my other video. Just kind of an interesting point where if you're ever a handler and the disc is coming in, and the pull is coming in, treat that with tempo. It matters. Yeah, he wasn't in there. You did a good job there, Johnny, of getting in the way of that, or just like being there to be able to break that up. I think it was a little bit more of a line drive, but if I had made a poor throw decision and threw something high, you would have been there. So
it was a good throw.
Yeah, I'll give you credit for that. You were in a good spot to clean up if I didn't make the correct throw. Which actually is kind of a thing.
I should have dove.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you would have gotten it. It would have been close. That would have been exciting if you'd have done. Actually, I'm not sure though, because I'm not sure if you'd gotten the height. If it makes you feel better, that would have been close though. But back to that one throw. It just as a comment, when you're defending, excuse me, on defense, you want to force the offense to do one thing, and you want to contest the other. So right here, you were in a position to contest that deep throw. But by contest, it's like if it's not an accurate throw with tempo, you're going to be there to get rid of it. If I had thrown something high like this, you would have been there to get it. And if I had thrown something offline or too slow, where it just was drifting in the air, he would have been there to take it away. So you guys did a decent job of, fundamentally of being in a position there, because this game is so rigged in favor of the offense. It's completely rigged. So as a defense, you just have to trust the process, trust in the system, and know that right here, we had to throw low percentage throws. We had to throw a whole field high like this. That's a win for the defense. Just because you don't force turnovers, you force low percentage throws. That's the guy. Look at Paul go. All right. But yeah, anyway, I think your guys' defense is good there. It didn't work out that time, but I think trust in the process, and that was good, and that will pay off in the long run.
Vince was having trouble deciding where to go, what you explained earlier. That he's supposed to. So I'm like, no, go back to where you were when we called the pick.
Yep, where you were at the time the foul was called. I also, speak of this matchup right here, I want to give a shout out to Aaron and Elizabeth. This league is brutal for female players. There are so many mismatches that happen, and Aaron and Elizabeth both are consistently put on just male players with that athletic advantage, and they've been working their butts off and playing so smart. So I do want to give credit to both of them for playing so well and working through that, because they've been improving so much through the season. It's been really great. Because, it's easy to be oh, well, it didn't work out. That sucks. But it's they're at such a disadvantage. They've been put in very hard situations. So good for them. Yeah, good mark by Paul. Good mark by Elizabeth. Elizabeth has the most active mark in the league. I'm calling that right now. That throw got off, unfortunate. The coaching point here is
lefty.
Yeah, the lefty. Whenever you're marking, your if you're marking flick, if your right hand is high and your left hand is low, that's generally where you want your hands to hang out. If I draw this demented person, whenever you're going, if your right hand is high and your left hand is low, it minimizes the chance of this happening, because the biggest threat is them throwing something high over your head this way or low around you this way. Just kind of a veteran thing you learn over the years of getting broken over and over, keeping that left hand low. And I just happened to be there to pick it up. I don't even think I did anything crazy there. Oh, yeah, that's actually something I do a lot. And that's something of just learning the matchup. I use my agility and speed. I'm actually taking away the space right here. I own this space right now. But because I'm quick and agile, I cash in on it later. So I'm already sprinting wholesale, and I just take it away. So yeah, it's just an experience thing. Once you learn, so oh, it's Mark, and that's not open, I don't get those anymore. Just whatever. And one other thing, and I'm sorry if I'm only focusing on my team. It's just easiest to focus on the things I'm familiar with. Communication. Teams don't communicate enough on the field as a whole at the league level. I very often, like, I'm literally just pointing to Elizabeth. I'm telling her where to go. I'm like, Elizabeth, cut that way. That's where I want to throw it to you. And then I do. I think that's great because even if the defense knows what's happening, they still have to stop it. And this is a rigged sport. So I think just communicating like that in general is a really, really helpful thing. Like, even like right there, like, I didn't like make that cut because I recognized everyone was going to be there. And I also recognized like, hey, you're going to have to be turning that way. So if she did look at me, she would see me pointing. I don't even know if that's something I actually helped with or not. But, did it stop? There we go. Yep. Great job here of just staying patient, swinging the disc. It's always what you want to see. Swinging the disc again. That's great. A little bit of a forced cross traffic, forcing it there. And with using my 2020 hindsight, Aaron was coming open right there. But I think Johnny, I think you might have been blocking his vision of that, if I'm being honest. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's easy to do. Like, that's a great screenshot. But I think, to be fair to Paul, I think your body, because you're kind of a taller, larger dude, I think you might have blocked his vision to her, where like when he was glancing, you might have been in the way of that. I'm a shorter dude, so I have a problem with that a lot, but I'll give Paul the benefit of doubt. That might have been what happened there. Regardless, I think that was kind of forcing it. But moral of the story is, resetting that stall count is a huge win for the offense, and yards don't even matter in the slightest. Oh, this is where I tripped into you, isn't it? Okay, we didn't get it on camera. Yeah, oh, it worked out. Yep, so here the force is away. Right here, I've made a few comments on this. The receiver is like off screen this way. I'm standing here. I'm taking away nothing. I'm in no man's land right now, where I'm not taking away this or this. So if you're defending a handler and you want to if you want to poach, you need to always tell yourself, what am I taking away? The forced space is here. So the question is, am I taking away this forced space? And if the answer is no, then I need to be like guarding my person tight. I stood way off my person and I gave a free swing. I let you guys out of jail for free right there. So just a coaching point, and it's easy to do because things happen and move so quickly. Right here, I stood right here. I'm taking away space. So the disc was here. Sorry, if I can turn my thing up. So the disc was here. This was the open space, and I was positioning myself to take it away, and then the disc came in. I didn't sprint over there. I need to be sprinting more in general. I have a mental block. Ooh, you hate to see it. I think you slipped there. Yeah, you slipped and fell. That's okay. It happens.
These are trash.
Yeah, on the turf, when you don't get real cleats, it's really easy to slip and fall. I think your mark got turned around right here. Yeah, so you overcommitted a bit.
And I switched it.
Yep. But yeah, so I got a free completion there. Paul does a great job. So whenever we're looking upfield, and you're the off handler, the space you want to be in is 45 degrees back as a whole, because it lets me just either throw to you, or you can cut this way or upline this way. But because there's no defender there, Paul could gain extra yards on that. Just take that reset all day. Good looks. So, yeah. And again, interrupt me if there's anything you want to say. I'm just going to kind of ramble as I go. Sorry. So sorry if I'm talking over you, if there's anything you wanted to say. So one thing that I do, I don't have a good view of this, but it's common for offenses to line up right next to each other. So on the field, there'll be like a person here, 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 and here. So what I do is, I'm going to reverse it just for the sake of the drawing, but like whenever I see that kind of thing happen, like I'll throw a roller to like that corner or like the other corner, because there's nobody there to field it. And that's something that like your team did a pretty good job of it until we took it away. But like, you know, if the nearest player is here and you throw a pole to land like right here, it's going to be much harder for them to field it because they have to run over and catch it in motion. And that was actually something I took advantage of that a few points because the disc got fielded after a long delay way back here just because he was standing way up here and I forced him to run over. So miscellaneous coaching point there for pool placement. Because it's natural to want to bunch together while you're talking, but if after you're done talking, if you don't spread out and occupy that whole sideline, it's easy to get exploited there. And then Kevin is just Kevin. That was a break side throw. I just wasn't quite there in time. Kevin's just a better player than me, so he just got that. But yeah, I gave him the step on me because it was just to the break side, and that's just, you know, one of the hardest things about defense in Ultimate, is just keeping your chin up, you know, because it's like great players are gonna make great plays, and sometimes you just gotta say, hey, Kevin made a great play, you know, I'll get him next time. And that's all you can do, you know. So it can be hard sometimes from a mental perspective. Yeah, it can be hard, especially in club when you're like a dedicated defensive player, and it's like, you know, if you can get 3 or 4 breaks an entire game, you've done your job. It can be hard to just like, you know, get beaten over and over again, but just trust in that process and, you know, keep playing with that same fire and intensity the whole time without getting that like highlight reel feedback. But yeah, Kevin's really good. Kevin's definitely a better player than me. You know, so not trying to say anything like other than just respect for Kevin. Great holster. Did not throw it to me because I did not open that up for him. And my cut was not good there. I need to work on my handler cutting. I'm just not used to filling that role. I can't see what's going on here, so rip.
Right.
Don't know what happened there.
I think it was just a throwaway by two.
Yeah, I think it might have been a miscommunication. It's hard to know what's going on.
This is where the camera angle switches right here. 1 second. We got a new camera right here. Same play, just different camera.
Yeah. Ooh.
Supposed to go to Matt. Matt just stopped, and Kevin still almost got it. Or, I mean, excuse me, Matt went through on accident.
Yeah.
Miscommunication.
So right here, this is a position where we did not handle this play well. I cleared out through space, open space. As a handler right here, and this is something where I don't want to be too harsh. I guess Erin's learning how to handle, and she's been improving a ton at learning how to handle because it's a different beast than cutting. The coaching point here is, I'll try to back up a few seconds here. So right here, as a handler, you have 2 options. You're either going to drift all the way back here such that you can come up along the wall to reset that stall count or make a strike upfield, or you just get out of there and sprint as hard and as fast as you can and let like somebody else come in and clear in for you. Those are kind of your 2 options. By hanging in no man's land, it puts a lot of pressure on because the defender stays in that space. That's the only real coaching point there. And then right there, unfortunate for the throw being just in your reach to go get to get there. If it had been a little higher, I definitely would have had that. So you did a good job getting there. That's kind of the hard thing. I mean, when I'm cutting with you guarding me, there's definitely a height mismatch, which feels bad.
Well, I was tired.
Yeah. I think back to my other point, though, having a shorter and faster cutter puts extra pressure on the thrower. Because if the heights had been reversed, that throw might have worked. But because it was reversed, it had to be a much more accurate throw. Which isn't inherently bad. It's just something to... It just makes it harder. And for a team like ours, where we don't really have somebody that's like comfortable and like, oh yeah, I'm the handler. Like this is like, you know, it's just a little harder. Because a lot of the hybrid, the more hybrid people, we're not quite as used to like filling that role.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I gave you that much space there. I didn't need to give you that much space.
Yeah, he made a good cut.
So this right here is one of those moments. I don't even know what I could do here. So basically I'm looking at, as a defender, I'm kind of in no man's land here. I guess I'm in a no-win situation. This is a really great cut by Madeline. I'm in a no-win situation because I have to guard 2 people right now. So I have to decide who I'm going to guard. I didn't get a good look at her because I had to react quickly. So I viewed him as the most imminent threat, where if he were to cut this way or that way, I need to take it up. But I also have this cut here happening. So the idea is I can't be, like, I need to be taking away this space and this space. And I can only take away one or the other. Coaching point, now that I'm seeing it again, I should have abandoned my guy and cut here, knowing that if you're going to throw something high here, there's a better chance someone else can pick it up. But it's hard to see that happening real time. So it's, you know, it is what it is. It was a great cut, though, to put me in a very difficult situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, no, great cut by Madeline. Full respect on that one. I was in a no-win situation there. That was hard. That was a brutal spot to be in.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
But that's good offense. You know, that's the whole point of it. You know, you make the defense wrong, even if they were right before you pulled the trigger on whatever you're doing. It's just, yeah, offense 101. But your team's really good at that too. So respect to you guys. Also respect on you guys being offsides every point. I don't actually care. I'm just gonna make fun of you for it, obviously. By the way, can we call out Vince kind of booking it down 100%. There? Yeah, dude, Vince was kind of like getting in there.
Vince's
this game.
Defense was great.
Yeah, no, you guys definitely have turned Vince into a strength. Yeah, good for you guys too. Vince is playing really well. You know, as long as Vince keeps up that work.
Because we told him to watch your videos.
No, it's good. I'm really happy that was able to help him.
I'm fine.
But yeah,
right now, and I'm fine with this toss right here because it's a low percent. I mean, obviously I shouldn't let him have it, but you know it's gonna happen, and that's a lot of traffic going. You know, I'm okay with that throw happening. It was.
Yep, I think the only coaching point here. That. Yeah. Now I will give you credit. I think what you were thinking, you didn't get a good look up field before this. If there were a receiver standing right here, you would have done the correct thing, because overcommitting is going to take away this strike in the short term and concede in a round, which is better because it gives your team time to recover. So I think you made the right decision in a vacuum, but because there's no receiver making a cut there, you didn't need to make it. And that, I agree with you 100%. That was a low percentage throw. So it was totally okay allowing that throw to go up. But
yeah, I was like, all right, good toss. It was a good toss, good catch.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's a win for the defense though, because is that throw gonna land?
Oh, did he
time? Oh, yeah. Actually, I was on the sideline.
Did he pick up his pivot foot before he threw it?
I was on the sideline and I asked, was that in? Oh, sorry, I didn't see it.
Oh, I was looking at his pivot foot. I think he was okay.
Yeah, he was okay. I'm looking at his feet. At Paul's feet. I think he might not have been in. I said on the sideline, I actually yelled it out. I was like, is he in? And people were like, oh, yeah, he's in. Calm down, Mark. And I was like, all right, well, okay, I guess I'm being sweaty. But it's all right, though. I mean,
it's all right to be sweaty here and there.
It's approximate. I was calling out my own team, too, so I guess it wasn't from a malicious perspective. But yeah, so I think, again, back to circle back, though. I think you made a good decision in a vacuum to overcommit to that strike. But if you don't see a receiver in that space, you don't need to.
I should have peeked.
Defense is very slow setting up on our team. We're kind of committing to the deep. I don't know what we're doing here. And this is a play. This is the controversial play with the foul called. We actually had a discussion about this. So this throw definitely should not have come up like this. This is a classic 50-50. Someone's getting a foul called. It looks to me...
My hand's already up in my head like, oh.
Yeah. It looks to me like Kevin runs into TJ, and TJ's arm prevents Kevin from jumping because Kevin ran into TJ. Super hard to tell. Super 50-50 kind of throw, which is totally fine. Yeah, there's a call there.
Yeah, I shouldn't have tossed that. I mean, it was...
Yeah. Yeah, which is fine. Again, if this had been like a salty game, yeah, just kind of, it's all good. But yeah, the coaching point there is no need to... obviously, you knew it the second you threw it. I don't need to tell you that. However,
I was supposed to go more like back left side. I was supposed to go left side, like behind Zach, but it's still a hard throw to make.
Yeah, I think the best coaching point
is corner.
Yeah, especially knowing that Palms is right there and TJ's there. If you'd have just thrown like a line, like a shorter line drive to Kevin for Kevin to catch it right in front of the end zone, that probably would have been the ideal play. Because if Kevin's here with the disc, everybody's got time. Anybody's got time to make a cut to that end zone before time's up.
Exactly.
But I also have the privilege of stopping time and thinking about it, and you were in the heat of the moment. But yeah, you knew you knew the second you threw it, which feels bad. But we've all been there. And yeah, I think that's
Nothing
half there.
happens here.
Yep. So yeah, that's the first half. Usually, I've been doing halves for this. So if there's anything else you wanted to talk about specific to the game, we can definitely do that. Otherwise, I think we'll wrap up this film review here. It's a little bit less conventional, but also I like to have your perspectives on here. I definitely appreciate it.
Only takeaways I have are, for an offensive perspective, take time when you throw, hit the first open person you see, whether it be like 2 yards up the field, 12 yards up the field. I think it's very important because gaining yards is better than a throwaway. And if you look 3 seconds up the field, and if you don't see anything, dump it. Because just because you're dumping the Frisbee and it's going backwards, doesn't necessarily mean you're doing bad on offense. You're just setting up for another opportunity to throw up the field.
Yeah, I agree. I think yardage is not a parameter of success when it comes to a pass. I think it's keeping possession, resetting that stall count is what really matters. So, also, I did not mean to go to my throw there. That was just a coincidence. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I think you definitely provided some great insight as far as that goes. Hopefully, we can get you on here again in the future. So yeah, no, 100%.
I would have.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a great time. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Very insightful information right here.
For sure. We'll definitely do it again. And until next time, take care.